so. And they said last week this weekend the health and temperance weekend. Until you catch them some more who do me invite adofo namfo eniafo na omuso metie nsampa yi bi na omfa moye bra na omfa fanka bi nkyere afoforo. And na yenche hon kra na ye was special guest e wo yentem. Ebia mumu bi ne na bi so ha munni no. Na as dumadie no mra na wie ye nene nyame ya adoma china no. We will get to know him. And then menyem introduction tintini bia nyame ya adoma china divine service no yeah beka no ho asem kakra. And then yeni ekuma me de oyemi ekuma yeni be di dwumai enye obia se Dr. Martin Opoku Jenfi na ekakakra bi senko ye taxan emre bi obetwa mu ha wone na busia then should be binti say no wakodi Connecticut senya se han won tira amrepom no obesande na brain inti ene they are unique ewo ye speaker hu ne say osun chemienu we MD and osan ye ND na kakra mate na mahuna fa no hu so ne say or practice the teaching or a strong believer in besides conventional medicine no we are nene apomutene ye ni padua ni nyina no ahyeda ayibra kohua side dwumadi nto okani mienu nyina abom nto wetimi use mienu nyina side by side, which is very good nowadays. No wunta ehunu young person what to know asise or yes adien to a wunyami munimdi na mise what the year juma one practice so wo yire na yire no bia mu bi ne no ye frɛ no success it didn't ye very unique. So what onim pastor and you west ya Atlanta ne vane success they say do ye Mrs. Opoku Jen from wo from yensa na wono nso so wo healthcare mo ye nurse inti na ye abusia adwuma inti mom yenye kom yenye ason na yentie yenye kuman nsema o de maye efa apom tenetene ne nyame asem kani nyina ti mesi ni trase na ya bompa ye kakra me paye ni si a ene ambati eye Dr. Martin Opoku Jenfi enuan mom yensie trase ne mompa ye odumfo nyame ye de wase se homede ye bewuramu wa beka ye ho anwumre ye de wase wo ba wo de na bra so meka apomudine mo nsam a ni nyina firi wunyame ho se de be ya ebenya asetena pa etimi ni afoforo nso ache na wo muso atimi abewie wahenwan yesro se fanimu na kasa kire yen niem a yenti ase no de ya adwene mu bubu ya koma ne yenti enwu akoma pam kan ho na de obeka bia no wunyame wasom de adua amiwa gugu sunsuo ama naso abapa yede wase yesro se kaye ho na ma bibia enko from iwia yede aseda ene na ase eni kabia ama ti yesu fra ne empa ebo anwumre mu e wodum ti amen.
Amen. Yo. This is your boy Darcy. Nyaminsha. Me Dr. Yeboa nyina nyaminsha. Damasi nso na sofo nso ne asa mpanimfo damasi se matunsa afreme. Yampa mmiri bi etwa mu ye tofa DFW ho no nanka ye hwesi betimi aba ho a na bibi nti ye nyama ba msi nyame emre na emre pa nti nyame nenyi se saba ho no ma nyame de yebeba no kresen ye muti unfortunately you can't help yes sinitrasis say we are see away. Health care no acquire more like disease care. Say enya health biem yare ene ye hwe yare ye krakra yare. Entinu na yare who say because of the paradigm of training, the choir first to doctor for the nurses, pharmacists, practitioners, healthcare practitioners, and only one big reason why ama sa I don't know ekoso. Na me wo moto bia ya na me catch me patients and they say disease does not just happen. And you know, and I'm saying disease does not just happen. It means every disease, whether we know it or not, has a cause. The fact that any cause, no interest any cause. Now, basically, healthcare spectrum now. Bare 5% per emergency medicine, emergency situations. I hear say emergency, I don't call procedure, be an emergency treatment, and there are another extreme 5% be and also 5 to 10% be and also a year elective procedures, a surgery, and surgical specialties near the. But we had the middle chunk now of bare 80 to 90% now a chronic degenerative diseases. Now, some chronic diseases now what in terms of healthcare, it's mostly near my preventable. And now even say, let's assume so why you're late in the prevention now. Now when you be now mostly with me reverse. Now so and I'm sa paradigm now make am assemblity ama what can disease be a preventable crana ibinom crass will say oh are assemble na okay because we have healthcare upside down. Inti weekend a short weekend inti yentimi nka nyina munti ma fa the basics na a introduction usually some health presentation we a presentation a foundation me friend wellness 101 wellness 101 because one of the fundamental issues ama yare adults sisia inti no na e beka ho asem Amatu Dean said the forgotten nutrient. Basically, fundamentally, no, we have done to our food and our way of life in terms of eating. To that, and I contribute to all those diseases. The second one, maybe share my screen. Na ya hwade. Okay. Enti enne matu presentation needing said the forgotten nutrient. Also, most of the time, because you're health lecture and health a year. Yeah, we are used to say because when they have high blood pressure, what is high blood pressure? Who gets high blood pressure? What are the signs and symptoms? What is the treatment? Until most of the time, you expect to say a health presentation as I say, take that format. But maybe take another angle, sometimes me carry disease specific health lectures on one day, but mostly no. Me take the other angle. The other angle now, the prevention and the foundation of the disease. The acquire area no fasoba. And what I am angle na me faso take. And it's a Uba say oba be tie we are real specific bi ho asama men disappointed because at the end of the day no yen we say lecture we no hu say yare bebre apie afrim enti no say utie ni yi a be boa mo to prevent yare bebre enti the forgotten nutrients na any dia de enuani nru a ye refi answer na ye be answer sa question no mo yen hwe sa the 10 leading causes of death that will US has it. Number 1, your heart disease. Now, heart disease, a nipa 633,000, where you 2016 CDC vital statistics on a report way free. Number 2, your cancer. Number 3, your chronic respiratory disease, and that's a lung disease overall. COPD. Number 4, accidents, not stroke, abana Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, pneumonia, nephritis, any kidney problems. And the last one is suicide. So I say, Nansenya na yenya aberration be I say COVID abandoned COVID we na sesa kakra ba COVID di ebetwa mu keke ebetwa ma ko na etwa mu kwa this statistics it was true 2016 2017 2018 2021 is still true. Your statistics here is here. The leading cause no that's your heart disease, the number 2 that's your cancer. Now we hear say see mu a we be say almost all these we bet ma prevent ya mana yi. Almost all yare wa ha nyina kubetima preventing nyina to a large extent. Ebi your hard ma betima preventing 100%. Ebi your hard ma betima preventing it to a great extent. Enti ejina great, but mostly no betima preventing nyina. Enti ani ebi say won say sa na tie dia ani na adenti na sa yare yi da so ekun yan biem. Enti Emra ye hu the 10 leading causes of diseases. Now, the moment you share the nutrients, na make am answer me. The forgotten nutrients. In this nutrients, no. Any calories be vitamins be any, minerals be any. Yentimin digestive. And yentimin ye absorb so. Enko ye mojam. And no ni ho a aduane eye very light aduane eye light the texture no emu ye ha no emu ye ha and asesade no eni ho no mo a wo betim de aduane asi ho afe mfie mienu mfie miensa mfie nan mfie num na ensaye enti no eye de ade bigiri di se enyima bebre koso ya adwene mu. And some nutrients no ade. Nutrient by what's our characteristics. Now mind you, because of these characteristics, it said no calorie is non-caloric, has no vitamins, has no minerals, it's not digestible, it's not absorbed. Light textured, we free a man a long shelf life in tea. It was assumed say useless. And nuntina are forgotten. So what is it? Fiber. A fiber. Now be like I say, now doctor pan yes health weekend na my beka health wasam share na fiber wasam na beka fiber that see ati. In the idea na special fiber ho in you beka wasam chebe mbam chomunya botre kakra ba me. Na ye wi a mbe hu se fiber no there is more to fiber than meets the eye. Now, one of the biggest problems we have in our culture right now, in our society, in our modern civilization, worldwide, is a fiber problem. And a lot of our health problems are because of the lack of fiber. And enough fiber time to content them do questions and answers. Meet me a question you have answer. One. Ohwe aduane a ye plant ye mfunuane a said no buy it vegetables ni fruits no nuts ni seeds no ma the part be your hormone yentimi nipa yentimi digest into udia a ko wanu mu ana sa afọ mu ana sa ba besin apie eno no any your friend fiber and I mean say activity say be a complex carbohydrates complex carbohydrates mostly I don't know ya packed with a lot of fiber and the fiber no ye wo musu ye ko ahoro bebre anya ade ba ko pe ye wo fiber no na fiber no ye wo different types of fiber. And in the 19th century, nutritional scientists, Europeans, so the ancient civilization in Europe, they started America, they're young, and son, Pilgrim Fathers in Nuvabahan. Nutritional scientists, I think, he said fiber no emphasobian issue. And I'm sorry, in the characteristics, and I'm a list here, and say calories, no vitamins, no minerals, it's not digested. It's not absorbed into the bloodstream. Because we animal, the animal see how the man I say. The entire it is an say. And more na yen kankana every animal say any bacteria, any viruses, any fungus na any gset and or how we could demand say smart. Unfortunately, it drew time be a DDMA. Yes, sad to say a more to the Ayara, they are smarter than us human beings. Umunim say a yentino and umcodino because umupadepa. And untina a word the animal may be an essential because a moana ever could in them. Now, we fear the animal, Fena and Moano, and the animal pay because at the panel year free. That's the reason why nutritional scientists a free. Now, here we are image where I free Harvard School of Public Health. Ube say. Generally speaking, you have grain. Say you have more grain, and I say you wheat grain. You a salmon. I didn't say that here. And who know you round now? Your friend a brand, a hot and a fiber no. And you who's a fiber and a B vitamins and a minerals a whole. Calcium, normally magnesium, folate, near the Bibri has folate, thiamine, near a lot of the B vitamins that I had. And now, Oba has here the germ, a hormone some B vitamins or vitamin E or and a certain phytochemicals here in Robia, a timidia pomode by a what in Funianimu plants, and some healthy fats. Now here, we say, and your friend endosperm, no, nice and finfina, no, if time. So we weigh every one or you weigh every one. This is what you get. Weigh any refined grain. Now weigh not. And one peso mudin. And I'm saying, I say, oh, yeah, unya we are. And we are a check and sana say. So the difference between brown rice and a white rice, and it's a brown rice, the whole grain. Red rice, the whole grain. Black rice, the whole grain. White rice now, and we need a white grain. It's been refined. Now the funny part, then they say, sir, B vitamins, any minerals, any phytochemicals, any vitamin E, what the germ, any brand, you need those in order to be able to properly digest these. In this year, you weigh any free more. Now, way now would you crown digesting ye. In addition to all the other problems, it me also amount untimin digesting ye. And that way, no, when we hear brand, no macoton separate as brand, ama, more, preconia, and Fiene, and Ponchini, a tongue, nobody feed him one. Not jam, no, so nobody a good bottle, no, near ton, we jam. It you say, no, be, yes, smart, I wish you awake a crano. No, I created beautiful YouTube videos, no, I created beautiful website. No, and I'm saying, I know what I know, then, I have good commercial, and who advertising. Was yes, we hear we jam. That's how better me special we jam. Now, who did the audio sprinkle with be honest? Many probably at Tiago, so they spend this yet. Meanwhile, Yanko born or born and say, ye yanning in our together in the green. And to say, and grains. You did this here. White bread is this, white rice is this, pastries, pretzels, any cakes, English muffin. A lot of these, your modern society in a way. All right. I feel moment content. I feel you share the different families of fiber. Ahani and chawa hapra. I have content. The other kind, your friend is cellulose, and that's a hemicellulose. I don't know. And a plant cell. I don't know a tardy and cardboard and any boxes, any paper, any cellophane, any sawdust. No, and no, a cellulose type of fiber. I know they are an entry. It me digest. Yeah, anybody intimate digest. And you're all pectins. Pectins, even though a fiber, yan absorb your bloodstream, a soluble, like it me absorb your intestines. Absorb. And your soluble fiber be your hormone. Absorb right from the intestines and makes its way into the bloodstream in a different form after it is modified. You become a little bit into details. The pectins, and a jelly-like consistency. The jams, jellies, fruits, pectins. Apples, peaches, bananas. The banana yet time, a pectin. And you all lignans, and also be in flax seeds. We have flax seeds, potatoes, especially sweet potatoes, carrots, new wheat bran, and also in the lignans. And you have gums, and also your soluble fiber. And no legumes, to say beans, soybean, bambara beans, chickpeas, lentils, gums, and your bars, and your mucilages. Mucilages, and I say glue. And no, I walk oats, my oats, and my oats near in time, and your mucilages in the womb. And it beans, sour beans. All right, into fiber no be. Now, we share U.S. food every U.S. Department of Agriculture, 2009. We share U.S. food consumption. Who say? They say I am West, so 2009. They say I am West. Not 25% of Americans, North America, I diet. I am from animal foods, which is meat, dairy, eggs, fish, this animal. A honor is free. And a horn social hormone, so I hold a cholesterol in a war because cholesterol is free and more in free plants. Is it anyone that say high cholesterol? One of the biggest problems. If people be brave, I will be sure was the cholesterol high. Now the amount of statins, so now or no statins. Statins, so you are the auto swear most of the time for life, which shouldn't be because this is a cholesterol is one of the easiest lifestyle diseases to reverse. Very, very, very easy. And so you move a brave, you know statins. Not statins, no, they cause problems. And my muscle pain, muscle soreness. Now also brain fog, now also all kinds of disease. It me diabetes here worse. It me predisposed you to diabetes, and so no, and I treated your cholesterol. Why? Eventually, you better ask. In the 25% from animal foods, 63% from processed foods. Now, processed foods, because the processed foods are added fats, oil, sugar, refined grains. And cholesterol, basically, it means to say 88% of our diet, basically in America, are prone to disease, are disease promoting, and only 12% in the free plant food. 88% from animal and processed food. 12% from plants. Yeah, at the end of the lecture, you better another statistic. Yeah, you say it's the exact opposite of this. Now you the benefits of that particular statistics, as opposed to this statistic here. The reason why all those chronic diseases are and right now across the world, because there is a saying, say, when America sneezes, the world catches a cold. The whole world copy America. First, you come Ghana, KFC, McDonald's, and some junk food, and so they say, Ebu. And any pali bebre, I don't say, so we ye na was scadi and as I be an independent, into the bibliatiabuso, into the export to your lifestyle, your disease prone lifestyle, your export to the world. They say, this statistic here, America, right now, you're worldwide. Okay, and you have a mummy share, and you're not fiber, and for so many crying, was so antino, then you have very made a hammer in Ray. The decay. So, would the fiber, would you have fiber more? Water content or digestive system. If you have no more big, large intestines, so called small intestines, increase the water content. The entire say fiber no attrins you. Attrins you are na I say a four. In the afo na a won so no na I say a lubricate ho. What is the benefit of having increase the water content of your digestive system? Yes, sir, and lubrication into preventing inflammation. Preventing inflammation. Who by free a lot of these GI related inflammation, to say irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. And no, basically Crohn's ulcerative colitis, ocean deep my friend IBDs, inflammatory bowel diseases. Now, one of the near will be protective about by free home. And they said, Ubedi Adriania, a yet fiber a woman. Number two, a decrease in the transit time through the digestive system. Because a decrease in transit time, and they say, the transit time, and they say, the time between say where be and they said the waste, I've been seen as feces, and I say as toilet, I've been seen. Into that time, not your friend transit time. Normal average, I mean, a normal transit time should be 18 to 24 hours. Into the normally say if your bowel, your gut is healthier, from between 18 and 24 hours, as I said, all the waste the body should be able to digest now or absorb absorption taking place. The absorb the akana in here, it should be able to come out. And so what do we see? A lot of the time, in fact, a lot of the cases I mean the clinic, GI problems. Now, most of the time, one gentleman me very vividly. Now, I twice a week. Twice a week, I saw for so many years. I feel I shall see develop abdominal problems near there. Or by, as the doctor say, twice a week, one normal, natural normal, there's nothing normal. Unfortunately, there's nothing normal about going to the bathroom and now say having a bowel movement twice a week. There is absolutely nothing normal about that. The normal is say every blessed day. So between 18 and 24 hours, your transit time should be that. Is to come out. Into this gentleman, when we started together, lifestyle approaches, and basically lifestyle medicine and natural medicine. And I'm saying my background initially, integrative medicine. 15. Now we are on a side effect. We know we are doctors. Who are confused. It me working with them. Both say no 15. Somehow it me do stage. People say enough. We don't need road in our way. Nani health on so improve. Or no 15. And so now the health was getting worse. But me do point be na no a swat ya to the point say e binum wo honoma o stage na o medru no o jai na dru anye yi. Enti no, but it means a sort to meet ya by the barest minimum. And a binum so hon mumutimi jai na. And at that point, their health is actually better. And they ask, say, how come say na me num no now with the intention say me de boa me ho na afa ekwa na ya me west. Na say sia na ya work it through and yet that's simple. So you ja we do no prekope. You don't do that. So who will be or expect who knows what he's doing. Ah, be coach you or be boa na wetimi eje ondo. And at that point now, they feel so much better. And this gentleman, at the end of a period, I didn't together and I feel now every blessed day. Now, Unyaba movement. From twice a week for years to every day, consistently, over a few months' time. And transit time is very, very, very important. Now, the entire important, and then they say, so aduane tena uyam aduane a waste na se bese no so amese na tena uyam echa a lot of things can go wrong. Why? Udidi a in addition to the waste material where we are in this undigested nyama untimi digested fiber na ade no e betimi abase bacteria e we aduane no you other toxins na nyama bedre a free environment no my we aduane no enti esese e babese intem your chemicals be brave or more udidi a itimi bom ebaduane no mu a cancer causing chemicals. And so it's not much. The longer it stays there, the more it has the potential to affect you. And the same quantum not just a side na etweka. And transit time a key very, very, very important. Unfortunately, and I'm saying we don't eat a lot of good fiber and transit time Number 3, a decrease in the quantity of bacteria in our digestive system. You have 2 main problems now when it comes to the gut. Anybody be gut bacteria out of balance. I have from the dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is the type of bacteria and yet the right kind of bacteria they promote to health. And the second problem is dysbiotic condition here, and I say bacteria and yet the right kind, they have too much of it, and I say too many of them. Yes, a cause disease. Now, one of the things I'll be telling you bacteria no swati and it's the fiber. Basically, in the say who did now a year unya bowel movement, I'll cut your fear. Usha feces not your fina baby good no about 40 to 45%, depending on your diet, to up to 50%. Undigested food. And about 50% into basically almost 50-50, 40 to 50%, and undigested food, and the rest, 60, coming down to up to around 50 to up to 60%, and also bacteria. Enti ukotiefia and fiber, what you see in the bowl is almost 50-50 undigested food and 50% bacteria. Enti no se udidi na se fiber what you do is that the fiber no it binds to the excess bacteria and draws them out. So the be unya overgrowth of bacteria. And a big problem as you say, your condition be you're from a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Bacteria no born a grow on soon a large intestines no na extend in a small intestines. Small intestines no typically you shouldn't have bacteria there. And so utiminya be a one of the reasons they say our bacteria no dysbiotic. It's not in the right composition, and are too many of them. And now we don't eat enough fiber to help draw them out. All right, number 5. delays gastric emptying. Gastric emptying, and then they say gastric emptying, you know, and they say semididia. Excuse me. Semididia. Didia aduane no edika akọ uyafunu na afri uyafunu na akọ down into your intestines, small intestines, na afri honum na akọ large intestines no. In digestion no cause if you large intestines man abesin. Na aduane no kwa uyafunu mu ho a esese aduane no spend a certain amount of time in the stomach. Na acid no be guso, hydrochloric acid no guso na etimi ye na djuma ewo uyafunu mu ho ansa na afri uyafunu mu akọ unsunu mo ya the small intestines no. But in some people omu ewo bibia ya condition bia aduane no enche won uyafunu mu ho na enten na kofom. Yes let's digestion will affect digestion. And the quite first affected digestion in say digestive gastric digestion no anye anko through properly. So the say in the small intestines no more process no the body no bread process no elongated. It's a process I say for example says say take 30 minutes and I'm say stomach uyafunu mu de no anwie de say yenti no na be 20 minutes bia be ka ho na che say ache wo ho na gastric emptying no so say e kwantem so aduane no so free uyafunu mu kon so mu ntem so you find a dumping and also timi cause diarrhea. A lot of the times nipa be bre ho do mo a so irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome no just a name here, it doesn't really mean anything. We don't know what it's doing is causing it. You know, any afternoon they say irritable. They say bow no yeah na say the buafu why irritable. Why say be the general. No in the irritable bowel syndrome. Then say unsono be general. Now one of the near my general no and they say rapid gastric emptying. Aduane na enche uyafunu mu yi na intentem na free ho na kwata onsuno. And no one of the things that causes our problem. Number 6, cholesterol. Fiber and also reduce cholesterol. Na kwa ya faso reduce cholesterol no, je beka ho asem enche. Ye beko yanim. E promote healthy immune system. Na saying obi anam COVID into obi anya bring immune system. Na immune system no, the bigger chunk of the immune system ewo yensuno. In fact, say yenim say within our gut no, we have about 100 trillion bacteria, trillion with a T. Ewo yensuno. Compare that to 10 trillion human cells. Which means that we have, as a human being, you are 10 times bacteria and one time human cells. 10 to 1. That's how much bacteria cells, how many more bacteria cells we have compared to human cells. 100 trillion to 10 trillion. And so all that number is not there for nothing. It has a function. Now, one of the biggest functions are the immune system. A regulating immune system in a very fantastic way. Into fiber ASR and also time into me and go into all the details and all the biochemistry. But so be per se, anytime. Mama all the biochemistry and all the various biomarkers are in charge. And preventing inflammation. Okay. I feel more way. So we are research unrefined plant food consumption versus the killer disease, heart disease and cancer. Okay, number 1 and number 2. And the red no a percentage of death from heart disease and cancer, and only red. Into the higher the bar no, it means more people are dying from that disease. Over Hungary and the US are based on this research now, around 2009, 2010. Now Hungary in the US, Next percentage of calories from unrefined plant foods. Okay, your friend is a mirror image. As a mirror image, but I'll draw a line as a way I reflect it. And the higher people are dying from heart disease and cancer, the more people are dying from heart disease and cancer, the indication is that people are eating less unrefined plant food. And at the higher, as the consumption of unrefined plant food increases, the higher you go, the less disease of heart disease and cancer you get. So this is not coincidence. And no coincidence. And in the beginning say, disease does not just happen. And say, a lot of the times, doctors, place a lot of emphasis. Oh, what's your family history? Yes, family history is important because my indications will be your risk factor. But family history is not the main cause of disease. Family history is just a predisposition. And you said yama or pesola, yadi bullet ashishim na edao living room table so. No cresa pistol and yet a bit nipa, but somebody has to squeeze the trigger. So be a trigger no swa intimi kumnipa da horse afebo. Same thing. Family history, genetics, it's like a loaded gun, it's there. But your lifestyle, what you eat, is what is going to squeeze the trigger. So and away heart disease and cancer, as whole food, unrefined food increases, heart disease and cancer risk goes down. All right. I feel nothing. Mama, questions about. Research here. Said about your being cast. Oh, as some okay, the about treatment of beginner air can't. My research as support. Now, will be open. No actual, no alcohol double check. I said they make an amebo. Whole grains and diseases into here, starting with inflammatory diseases. Where Iowa, a women's health study, follow 41,836 for 17 years. Now, a study and conclusion, and they say, just 2 servings of whole grains a day, just 2. No, within that period, they were 30% less likely to have died from inflammation-related conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, gout, asthma, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, neurodegenerative diseases a whole. And here they publish it in Journal of Clinical Nutrition 2007. A whole new publishing. Whole grains and disease. Heart disease. Heart disease. We also a publishing American Journal of Clinical Nutrition 1999 and nutritional metabolism and cardiovascular disease 2008. A whole new publishes our studies. And also where the nurses' health study almost say a ma almost say we are nurses into mostly no forgot so ma a ma 2 to 3 servings of whole grain products each day were 30% less likely to have a heart attack or die from heart disease over a 10-year period than women who ate less than 1 serving per week. In Iowa study, 38,000 women. Almost say, almost 2 or 3 servings. They had 30% less likely some inflammatory diseases. So, almost 2 or 3 servings, 30% likely of having of heart attack, dying from heart attack. And you just combine the two. Right off the bat, just because of this one single thing out here, or heart disease or heart attack risk cut down by 30%. And our inflammatory diseases risk cut down by 30%. So just ask yourself, if you eat more than 2 servings, then what will happen? Then you see that the benefits begin to compound. I feel way in swear. I have said so. 7 major studies be a study. Omuki can me just nina a boom. Now who say a man in Memena, one more 2.5 servings of a day of whole grain food. No, omu ye 21% less likely. So omubenya heart disease. So compared to omu di less than 2 servings a week. Into the research is there. Of a moment, whole grains and disease, colorectal cancer. Emphasis in say, oh yeah, cancer will be when you do 50% of your colonoscopy, you the house, good, but all rely on colonoscopy as your method of preventing cancer. You are too late. By the time a colonoscopy and detect what cancer, no one cancer. So, and yet primary prevention. Primary prevention is said, obey BB lifestyle BB and macra. Now, one of the best things we know of are your whole grains. And the whole grains, the secret in our whole grains, are the fiber, the forgotten nutrients. Now you can watch it. And when you see a systematic review of 4 large population studies over here, one conclusion and say regular consumption of whole grains, leading to a cumulative reduction of 21% risk of colorectal cancer. I hear them publishing in a British Medical Journal, 2011, and publishes a study. So, and yet, anansisem and a year two. A factors, it's backed by science. But I'm saying yes, simple. It's very complicated. Diana, anybody be brave. You must say a BB. And actually, generally speaking, healthcare practitioners and you trained in nutrition. A fact, a lot of them don't want to accept it. They don't want to admit it. But we'll be honest with themselves. Be a cultural say, medical school, nutrition doesn't really form part. The little part of nutrition, the biochemistry of nutrition. I know biochemistry, we have ascorbic acid, we have folate, we have thiamine. Now, acid relates to deficiencies. But say nutrition, nutritional therapeutics. So the nutrition, doctors and healthcare practitioners don't get that training. And a lot of them, unfortunately, look down on this very powerful tool that we have to reverse disease. And say yes, we are more serious. And fiber, no. One, it may prevent diverticulosis, it prevents appendicitis, cholecystitis, colon cancer, breast cancer, heart disease, gallstones. It may cure some of these diseases. Constipation, hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids, yeah, now you can't hemorrhoids. Yes, what is hemorrhoids? Yeah, you need to be hemorrhoids really a disease of constipation. Constipation, blood vessels, veins, or two hormone, a very superficial and a very fragile. Into all force now, what old chimna, TFI ding hormone, not irritated, veins, irritating and inflamed, not just bleed. They bleed are very painful, and only hemorrhoids. Coco, so preparation H. And your hemorrhoids a draw, but you be on TV, now you're advertising preparation H. Now will be so oh, me the preparation H, yeah, metrona, say, that is not the solution. Solution in saying, and I say, I prevent constipation. How do you prevent constipation? By making sure that you're getting high quality, unrefined, unprocessed plant food, which has all the fiber in there. Oh, yes, sir, you prevent that. Diabetes, so fiber can cure diabetes a lot of the time. I'm not going to say, doctor, I'm okay. And yes, a fiber now can now fiber no way diabetes in fiber and then a but fiber in as part of a whole food plant-based diet. Now we do a lot of those fibers now make unya lignans, unya pectins, unya gums, all those amylopectins. Now all the different types of fiber now. And no, and a reverse diabetes. And at the American, yes, one of the things me clinic, me operate a diabetes reversal clinic. We run a diabetes reversal clinic. People come there and their diabetes, we help them reverse the diabetes. In the they come there, one no rona, ya pale on near the insulin a can because in rona way of a year you may be. And that Sani Maya American was a other name maybe lifestyle, nutrition, and natural remedies in your baby. People reverse their diabetes. It's unbelievable. You have to see it to diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol, atherosclerosis. All right. In the final part, and it said cholesterol, so will be a hormone or high cholesterol. A quiet pen pan or befaswa. Who and a fiber, a faswa, buama cholesterol. Now, because high cholesterol is one of the easiest diseases to reverse. Because one, cholesterol, if you move animal food, the home cholesterol. Plant be any hormone cholesterol, even though you can say, oh, woody, Matissa doctors be can say, oh, maintain cholesterol problem, I mean, ni pay avocado, because a fat. Now we are high in fat, we will be cholesterol. And yet, unfortunately, cholesterol free and more eggs, milk, cheese, fish, chicken, beef, mutton, pork, bibia ya buemu bia a horna cholesterol free. In free plants. Okay, that's the first thing. Basically, it means that the source of the cholesterol and what is so. The second thing you can do, any fiber, high plant food. How does that help? Okay, so Odidia, your friend be bile. I know your friend Bonumano. Bonumano, and you pediano synthesize or yet Bonumano or liver no one area big good bile your friends a gallbladder no. If a good one, Udia Biania Esradia fatia. Na Bonumano a chi, tis a bentuana, a piana, a chi, Bonumano, na big good Bianin so. So a big good Bianin so small intestines, no need a gusua. Na I am fat no. Na a break it down fat. Now bile nankasano na ya Bonuma nankasano. 80% ANC, 14% a bile source, 3% your lecithin, 1% your free cholesterol. And now bile salt na 14% no. And also in cholesterol sash in fin. Into we are saying it here. We have bile salt, fat, cholesterol in the middle, and a water. Okay. So what this means in the say, you will be your friend enterohepatic bile recycling. Enterohepatic bile recycling in the say, any pediano bile no anasa bonuma no say ochi, who did na ochi go aduane no so a. Na bonuma no bile ne boa yam fat na. Aye na djuma wi a bile na aye na djuma wi no na asa ko back. A recycle body na sa recycle. Wasa atwe back into the body. Now, I reuse the same bile, no, or reuse this recycling a cost. So, okay, but it's a woody fiber, fiber, baby, what did happen? What happens? They say the fiber will bind to the bile. Bind to the bile. So, I bind it to the bile now. Then the bile is not available for recycling. And the fiber will in turn draw the bile out of your body. Not just say the body, are short of bile, so they have to make a new batch of bile. Every time you are now high in fiber, you lose some cholesterol, so your body is short on bile. The body has to synthesize new set of bile, and the bile, so the right in the center is cholesterol molecule. Until the more bile your body synthesizes, the more cholesterol the body takes from the blood to synthesize new bile, and therefore your blood cholesterol drops and goes down. It sounds very simple, but very, very effective. And secondly, and so that's the first part where our fiber bind and reduce cholesterol by indirectly reducing cholesterol by indirectly, by drawing bile and making the body have to make new bile using cholesterol. And directly, no, fiber so bind it to cholesterol. No watching about the in this will be our high blood cholesterol. Don't forget the forgotten nutrient. The nutrient now you that is what's going to take care of it. And away, BBA a year detoxification. Now make a year na make us say oh long transit time. Say who did ya? I need to hear more. Na the dia na wa constipated. The dia na yama chako wa. And you know we na make a wasem. You chemical be we ni period my friend glucuronic acid. Glucuronic acid no need ya say I have to set target. And the one nipeduanum say nipeduanum per se or destroy and also or getting rid of toxin be and bacteria and also chemical be and our old hormone be the body attaches that bacteria or hormone or chemical with glucuronic acid or attach it to it. Then body who say target say, oh, this is meant for distraction. No, are destroying. Now some of those things, any bacteria, hormones, chemical toxins, and a cancer causing chemicals is it benzopyrenes, if cigarettes, nitrosamines, oh nama nasa watch namwa and a generate polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. And also sa to two nama na watch nama na unya methylcolantrins and so in yabi wo namwa yachi to tone any cigarettes and aflatoxins and katia aproni grains apro fungus mold mycotoxins and so sa mold and a pesticides. When you the body gets rid of it using glucuronic acid. But say the finot now your bacteria, you can make bacteria, and you will be have a dysbiosis or the wrong kind of bacteria, a disease causing bacteria. One of those bacteria are a disease causing. Need say or glucuronic acid, any day to say a situation. And the longer the waste sits in your bowels, the more opportunity those bacteria have to come and eat it. Into your bano obedia, let's assume say the glucuronic acid is holding on to a toxin, be to say PAH, and also bacteria there. So bacteria na obedia glucuronic acid, na that toxin, now you free, now you lose, then it goes back into your system and then it can hurt you. And detoxification, one of the best things you can do to get rid of toxins from your system is by eating fiber, whole grain, unrefined, unprocessed foods. All right, this is the last slide of the now for questions. The first slide now, percentage. It was 88% animal and processed food and 12% plant food. That was the typical American diet. And that diet, and not only heart disease, any cancer, any pulmonary disease, inflammatory diseases, all those diseases now, the 10 leading causes now listed. But now this is another diet here. Statistics are way, your friend, the Okinawa longevity diet. Okinawa is one of those areas, your friend, the blue zones. The blue zones around the world, five places in the world that nipa 100 years and over and healthy. Now, there are a lot of other things, but one thing that was common among all of them, and they say, look at the diet. What is that? 85% carbohydrates, 9% protein, 6% fat. And so, a lot of doctors stretch their patients, say, so person will lose weight till carbohydrates. So what diabetes, I mean carbohydrates. When the reverse is true. So person will reverse diabetes, you eat a high carbohydrate diet. But the caveat is say, what type of carbohydrates? Not the refined type, the processed type, the whole food, unprocessed plant food, carbohydrates now, and no fiber. That is what these people are eating and giving them living to be 100 years and plus 100 years and health. Yes, 100 years or down wheelchair, and also down paso 100 years or drive or nanti or corner foam or go fishing or go mountain climbing. That type of 100 years in a year. Now, for yaka, where you know, after Moshe, breakdown 70% sweet potatoes, 12% rice, 7% grain and wheat, 6% soy and legumes, 4% additional vegetables, 3% fruits, oils 2%, nuts 1%, other potatoes 1%, seaweed 1%. After moment your names the course na America ha yedini bebre no. Sugars 1%. Fish, even fish crab 1%. Dairy, cheese, milk, 1%. Eggs 1%. Pork, any meat 1%. And typically, so animal products pa fish, dairy, eggs, pork, 4%. 4% of their overall nutritional needs in the free animals. Whereas here, we are doing more. I have say, yes, they grow to be more than 100 years and healthy. Whereas we here in this culture, in summary, 96% of their diet are vegan. Vegan diet. That is pure plant food, nothing else. 98%, okay, so the 98% now are vegetarian. It means they are adding milk and eggs. After 99%, now yaba fish. Now animal products are less than 4%, fish less than 1%, and meat less than 1%. This is a diet for health. In the enumerate, there is not some basic question about.
Yo, Doctor Yeda was it. And there was so many Yamia so I checked the yapui. Sabrino. Kaya beji brain check. Nanka china Yamia Duman Breno. Ya auntie, ya bayanis auntie, and yanum. The work of bossing na monument home, na questions and the comments am one. Yamia Duma, a china numeric program no. Ya befa kwan bi so na what try to answer comment questions in the comments ntino ya do asi bebre ya di besi ha ti meda na akira ma sofo ana sa asoro mpanyimfo no na wo makro so ama ye ya da mase mo amotimi bai akina so momra ma enye kama na menka mo nyina
Your for said the Emma work kind doctor Sipa facts. Emre Yasian Emma Bibri, Dr. Radin Shrow, Yama, said the doctor Mrs. Work kind. Now, every year, it is a doctor answer questions. Timoma Yen Trento. Madamachi me pacho, my numba cook na fi Yemom Pai na Yemfire and Shay na coupon answer.
Let us sing a song that will cheer us by the way. In a little while we're going home. For the night will end in the everlasting day. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while we're going home. We will do the work that our hands may find to do. In a little while we're going home. And the grace of God with our daily strength renew. In a little while we're going home. In a little shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while we're going home. We will smooth the path for some weary wayward feet. In a little while we're going home. And may loving hearts spread around and influence sweet. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while we're going home. There's a rest beyond, there's relief from every care. In a little while we're going home. And no tears shall fall in the city bright and fair. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while we're going home.
Never choose you trust in I am on pie. Yankopon a domine mobrohuna hye won sama. Umada wasi waye ye kamfo ye hye woni munyam. Se wama na otwe akọ apro abetu yen. Na enne homeda konkron ahyasie. Wonnam wakoa so ede enkwagye nsem adise ede ama ye nwumre. Yankopon ye srew ye ne adofo no ma ye hye nwumre nyina rade ensem a yatie no. Ansem intena yakoma pron so ni ya adwenem. Na yentimi mfa mmobra nhwe nipadua so yie. Ifi se wo se ye nipadua ye wotim. Ko a enumre odi ne bihira ye bompa ye ade na hye wonsa. Yankopon ya adom ade achi a wako abesa atoa so akyerɛkyerɛ wo ma. Srawo se me Yankopon hwie wo konkron tumi ne gu akoa so. Na ensem a odi ama na so mfa mre ye nyina no. Ba kokora nti antofom. Afi ma yetumi ni ahoden a yebetimi de aye asemi etiefo ene yefo. Na nam saa yesu nipadua a odi ama ye no. Yetimi ahweso yie ama yede aye adwuma ahye odin animonyam. Emre wo mai ba ye se ye mu bi to saa asemi mu sini a. Yankopon hue mobo ne fa ye bone kye. Na ebra ya tie die ma yenkoye asemi yefo se de be ya yede wonsem a yati ebe hye wo ye ho animonyam. Sraw na otwe nyina wahwe so momedai mu yesraw se ma wadom no nya kese wo honam nyina so o ma eba wanim yare ne haw bebre ekue so enumre bra ya ba wanim fa otumi no ahoden no ihira na afi momedai mu dwumadi nyina huyemobo na homedai mu yentwemme ho enchen ebra etwa mu nyina fa wo ihira eni kabia no eponye na Yankopon ya wo ye ya dom na ade achi a tafa ye nyina ye behiem na koso ehira ye kredi wo nkwan wo no mo wanumre se de be ya wo be ba betu ye se ye nyina afi de ya fata ahenie no na ade akodida ensa wanumre Yankopon ne mabankese hwe wo ihira kese egu asafo konkrin so ewo ye na Awurade Yesu din mu nti amen.
Amen.
Your major Meda Kofi, an announcement to go over.